Hello, this is Manish Patel. Today is August 22, 2010. This is a weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency market. We'll begin because we've got a lot to cover. This is our normal disclaimer. Everything's basically for educational use. All charts are in Thinkorswim or TradeStation. If you look at my contact details, here they are. You could go to eiicapital.com. You can find out more information. You could also follow us on Twitter at Ichimoku Trading. Okay. So let's begin, and as we normally do, let's go look at the Ichimoku heat map. If you look at the heat map, remember we're looking for basically all three time frames from daily to 120 and 240 to be 5 and above for bullish scenarios and -5 and below for bearish scenarios. If you look here, basically the 120 basically is bearish, 240 is bearish, and the daily is now weakening. Let's look at that and let's see if there's a trade possibly for the daily starting to come up because the lower time frames are getting stronger and stronger on the bearish side. So it seems like they're influencing the euro on the daily time frame. So we're definitely going to look at the euro there. If you look here, this is bullish, US CAD bullish, and then daily starting to get stronger. So we're going to look at the US CAD too. If you look here, if you look, all the lower time frames from the 120 and 240 are pretty much consistent, and the dailies are weakening now. So it seems like the lower time frames are starting to influence the higher right now. US yen is exception here. We'll have to look at that one, see what's going on there. CAD yen, pretty much across the board. The only thing that's weak now is the 240, but the daily starting to slowly break down too. Okay. Let's enlarge this. And if you scroll across, you can see that basically the Shikao is the only problem that we're having with the daily time frame for CAD yen. All the other time frames, euro yen, are all breaking down too on the bearish side. So basically everything is strong on the yen side. Okay, let's go look forward. Same scenarios. CAD Switzy is bearish, so that's interesting. So we'll look at that one too. So we've got a lot of currencies to look at. So let's go and start now, so we don't waste any time. Let's go look at the Euro USD as we normally do. As we outlined on last week's video, we pretty much were at a major resistance level, and pretty much we needed a pullback to happen in order to see exactly what happens. The pullback happened. It was a drastic pullback. In fact, it came all the way down to the Kijun-sen Tinkin-sen. So price did equalize with the Ichimoku indicators. Now the key is what's going to happen here on a weekly time frame. You know, if this breaks down further, then we have a possibility of retesting the lows. However, if it comes and breaks this little pivot high here, then the euro is going to pretty much go higher and go to levels of 35.07 and above. So we really don't know yet. We got to wait and see what's going to happen here. But it did do what we were expecting, which was pretty much pull back to what we needed it to be. If you look at the daily time frame, as we mentioned for the weekly, it was a drastic pullback. It definitely happened. If you look here, it crossed the Kijun-sen and now it's trying to go to a thin cloud. The thing that this won't go bearish right away is because of this Kumo future. Look at it. So there's a possibility it's going to go through the cloud, come to the bottom here at 25.51, bounce off that to retrace to go higher for a pullback to the bullish side, and then that should hopefully turn the future of cloud bearish on a daily time frame. But we really don't know. Let's wait and see what happens. But right now, on the shorter time frames, I'll definitely look for opportunities on the bearish side. And if we quickly look at the 4-hour, you could see that it's broke down on Ichimoku cloud here at 5 o'clock on August 11, and pretty much it came down here and staying down here, has been consolidating, and then it broke the last low right here on 9 o'clock on August 20th, and pretty much from there it's just sitting there hovering around this now new resistance level. This resistance is now what the support it broke. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. This level right here is kind of key on the 240 minute right here, right there. Whoops. So on a shorter time frame, 27.30 is key, and then if it breaks this low, this is going to go lower all the way down to 25.41. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on a Euro USD. Okay, let's go back to the weekly. Let's go look at the US CAD. US CAD, if you remember, let's go look our heat map. Let's go to the very beginning. US CAD basically seems like the lower time frame is starting to influence the daily. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly. Weekly pretty much is consolidating, has a chance to get to 55 over here. Price level right here to the top of the cloud, and then pretty much it's ranging, and the short-term range is here and then here. So that's that for the weekly, but it's pretty much consolidating. It's been consolidating for a little while. So let's go look at the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, exactly what the daily time frame, exactly what the daily is saying. It's basically consolidating, going sideways. However, it does look like it's sitting there trying to break out. Key levels are going to be here, here, and then here. Well, if you look, of course, this is the last high, but this seems like it's trying to break out to the bullish side. Reason why is the 120 and 240 are now starting to get stronger on the bullish side, and you could see that on the 240 time frame, how pretty much it broke out of the cloud, gapped up, got right to this resistance level, and pretty much hovering around this resistance. So if it breaks this resistance, it goes higher to the next one. This seems like it's trying to make a move to go to the higher side. Okay. Let's see what other currencies we're going to look at. We looked at the US CAD, Australian USD. Let's go look at Australian USD. If you look at Australian USD, this is the 4 hour, so you could tell it's bearish. Let's look at the daily. And if you look at the daily is finally crossed the Kijun-sen. We're right below the Kijun-sen now. So it seems like this guy right here had a hard time trying to get past this resistance level here. Bounced off that, and now it's pretty much gone across the Kijun-sen. So this looks like it could be sitting there going down. However, we got to wait and see what happens now. If you are a person that draws trend lines, you could pretty much draw a trend line here, and you could see that it's within its trend right now. So let's wait and see what happens over that trend, but it does look like it's sitting there trying to get to the cloud and trying to flip over, but time will tell. Again, there's nothing there. You gotta wait and see what happens, but the lower time frames are starting to influence the higher to go to the bearish side. Okay, we'll look at one more. Let's go look at the US yen. US yen is pretty much hovering around this level. We've had a triple bottom on the US yen over here, and doesn't seem to break that at all. So as the more and more time it gets to not breaking it, there's a high probability that things going to reverse. So I'll be very careful and start looking for maybe a counter trend opportunities to go to the bullish side on the US yen. But it's pretty much hovering around right now on the daily. And if you look at the 4 hour, the 4 hour now looks like it's trying to break out of the cloud. The key level is going to be right here, and see if it gets there and then starts breaking that to go higher. This is the Ichimoku video for currencies for this week of August 22. You can follow us on Twitter at Ichimoku Trading. Have a good week trading.